Sorry about that, guys. Going live, there's always technical difficulties, and we're just figuring out this Skype thing. So let me restart. I want to shout out Amber Rose Candles, one of my good friends, Evan McCarthy. She runs a candle creation shop. I'll have her stuff posted shortly after this podcast. Shoo Monkey Creations, they're going to be doing my merch, my first drop. Thanks to my friend Anthony for hooking that up. So this episode we tossed together this week. I had another guest, it was just beyond my buddy Ryan Cregan, who is a Marine, who want to talk about drug addiction after the service and getting clean and medical marijuana. But this week, so he couldn't make it, so I've got one of my best friends, my brother from another mother, to fill in. Should be on GQ magazine. His name is Tyler Larson. Here he is. What's up, boss?
What's up, brother?
Before the technical difficulty, we figured out that 2013 we met. So I might have been wrong on that calendar date last episode. It might have been 2013 as my year.
Close enough, man. It's all blurred.
Yeah. So you were in the Marine Corps. How much time did you serve in the Marine Corps? And what was the difference, do you think?
I served 4 years active, and I did, after you do 4 years active in the Marine Corps, you're required to do 4 years of inactive reserve. So, I did my 4 years active. I got out, really tried to make a plan for myself. It's kind of hard trying to decide whether you want to get out of the active service or not. So I decided to, but I'd say the biggest difference between the Marine Corps and any other branch would probably just be the, I don't want to say training. I don't want to think or come off as me saying the Marine Corps is a more trained fighting force than anyone else. But we are held to higher standards. It is what it is. I say that one of the biggest differences is just being a Marine is not only just being a war fighter. It's an entire lifestyle that they train you to be. In boot camp, for instance, we got to learn all the major figureheads throughout history. Chesty Puller, Mad Dog, one of the favorites. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn all that stuff in the Marine Corps. The first Marine Corps pilot. It's a bunch of history, and they kind of it's real. That's why when you're never an ex-Marine, you know what I'm saying? You're always a Marine for life because it's just instilled in your blood from boot camp, and they break you down. They completely break you down in boot camp and build you exactly how they want you to be built. Some people can't handle it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I remember we got given in the Army, we got given a book that had some history stuff in it, but we were never taught about the legends that went through.
Right? Yeah, we got tested on that shit too.
Yeah, you guys. What I've heard is you guys need to learn the history of the Marine Corps 100%. You have to know that shit down pat. And that's the difference. I wish the Army would show us. And
wait a minute, where is that playing from?
And so, with everything going on with the military, I feel like they should start training and teaching the history, because now you have these kids going in there, being able to use their phones every weekend. It's softening our military.
It's crazy to me, dude. You got to be completely separated from society. If you want to make an effective warfighter, and if you want to build someone to your liking, I would say, you can't have them be influenced by what's going on in the outside world. It's got to be an isolation type thing. As much as it sucks, you got to be isolated.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe if you to be able to go through the stress and be able to know that you can deal with that pressure and that stress and being able to adapt and overcome, you need to be cut off from mommy.
Right, exactly. Everything else is just a distraction.
So when you served, what was the highest rank you got? You got an E5, I believe, or I don't know.
Yeah, I was a sergeant by the time I got out. I picked up sergeant a year before I got out, and that was basically towards the end of my my service, my active service contract. So it was pretty easy skating from there.
You did a deployment to Afghanistan, I know that, and what was that like? What provinces were you in? What was your job entailed when you were over there?
So I was deployed from August 11 to August 12. And normally, Marine Corps deployments are only like 6 months long if you're stationed with like a battalion. But I happened to get, my unit was actually at the regiment level for an HQ company. And our deployments are 12 months long because we actually are in charge of entire AOs with individual battalions within that AO who have 6-month rotational deployments. So we kind of had to be there for longer just because we were the overseer trying to run things. So we had to have a bigger time frame allotted to make sure everything runs smoothly. What I did, I was basically a glorified radio operator. Fixed radios. If anything got broken in if a truck got hit by an IED, I'd have to repair all the comm equipment in there. And it was just a bunch of stuff. I got involved with Blue Force tractors. Blue Force trackers. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, the big
it's
GPS,
GPS stuff. So like I had to learn that stuff like on the fly, all by myself. It was just one of the duties that were like, here, Larson, like.
Yeah, well, dude, you are out of our group of friends probably like the smartest one. We've been through the ringer.
Yeah, so I had to upgrade a bunch of those systems in Afghanistan. I had to fly around all the different FOBs and just basically take accountability for their equipment, just stuff like that.
Well,
it was wild though, man. It was like I always tell people it was the worst of worst, but it was the best of best, you know?
Yeah, dude. I loved every minute I served for my country. I believe that true-heartedly that the reason why I am who I am today is because of the people and the leadership I had in the military, man. Like from basic training, I still talk to dudes in basic training. I still talk to drill sergeants, not even my own personal drill sergeants. I talk to drill sergeants from other platoons that were in my company, and they fucking still mean the world to me. You know what I mean? Like they installed such discipline and such, and it went out the window after my time in service. But like that's because
because you feel like you got lost purpose. 4 years of lost time, with your boys back home, and that's like that was probably the biggest thing for me, man. Was like that feeling of having to catch up with all the time that you lost with your boys. And that can be a slippery slope, man. Like, it took me a few years to find out, but you're walking a thin line, man, when you get out with that mentality. You kind of lose focus, and that's a big thing. Like, if you have a plan after you get out of the military, you got to make sure you don't get distracted and you actually stick with it.
Because it sucked. Like, I got back, and, like, it was weird. Like, no one was hiring an infantryman, I felt like so like I applied at places. I didn't have a college education, and then it was basically you that told me to go use my GI Bill. But I was sitting there working at fucking Dunkin' Donuts, hating fucking life. And the only reason why I got that job is like literally my one friend was the manager. So like I got that job, and like even then I'm sitting there like, yo, dude, I feel like the military and like the recruiters and everything like feeds you this bullshit that you're gonna come out and you have the world fed to you on a silver platter. Like you're a veteran, you served your country, no one's not gonna hire you. You're gonna have all the best jobs. All these people are gonna be begging for your work, and like, they don't. They literally just don't care.
No, they really don't, man. And the job market's become so competitive, man. It's just like you got to have something. Like, yeah, it's great that, and don't get me wrong, like being in the military definitely has its advantages when employers are in their hiring process, but you got to have the credentials to back it up too. Just because they see that you're a veteran don't mean that they're going to be like, oh, wow, I'm going to give him the job over someone that has, all these qualifications. It's just not going to happen. You got to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing is like no one wants to retrain. Like even though like they'll say like they support the troops and that's what their business logo is. No one really wants to train another guy when they can hire a dude that already knows the work. You know what I mean? Has the credentials, and they don't have to take time to train some fucking veteran that came off the street. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Because it's just time consuming. Like when you can just get back to work. Now you have to have someone fucking watching, dude, showing them how to work. The work ethic's going to be there because it's installed in us, but
yeah, and I guess that matters. I mean, it's just like whatever. It depends on what job you're going into, really. I mean, if you're running a construction crew, I mean, they're probably going to be looking for veterans. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how to run a team and you know how to get shit done. But Like, I just got into IT, man. I just got a job with IT, but I had to get so many certificates, and I got my associates, and I'm working on my bachelor's, you know, and it's just like, it took a while, man. It takes time.
You've
It
been
depends on
busting your
what
ass for a
career
while.
you're going in, how much that veteran label means, you know?
Yeah. And like I know it does jump you on the list after you get the credentials and you get moved up. You know what I mean? Like, it does help out with that shit. Like people do see that and be like, oh, this fucking dude's a vet. But at the same time, I think it's just a struggle to come out of the military and then try to find your purpose and try to find your niche in a civilian life. Like if you're good with fucking going to school, sitting behind a desk, being able to get educated and stuff like that. There's some guys who can't do that. Like I know I was one of those dudes. Like went to college and I was like, oh shit, like I fucking suck at math. Like I don't know if I'm gonna pass this shit. Like to get to my next level of what I wanted to. Plus, they didn't have agriculture, which is a huge thing to me. But it's just that feeling of like sitting there and being like, oh, dude, like I had all this training in the world to do one job and then not, you know what I mean? Like not be able to fucking receive that job. Like I'd love to go.
It's tough, man. It really is. It's tough. I get it. I mean, you can't expect everyone to know what you went through, though. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it is what it is, and it sucks. But
yeah, because there's other shit that, like, dude, look at like fucking Fort Hood, man. Like that seems like that's a fucking deployment to me by its own. Right? Like there's some shit going down there, bro. Like, and no one wants to talk about it.
There's like
yeah, dude. Like that should be a hazard duty paid zone right there. Like I feel like if you're getting stationed at Fort Trump, you should get some hazard duty pay because that shit's crazy.
Dude, it's why, like, y'all better have a will. If you go to, if you go there, like, y'all better have a will.
Yeah, and don't talk about anything. If someone sexually assaults you, just shut the fuck up because that's seemingly the fucking same case.
Where's the chain of command?
They're probably involved. Tell you the truth, like,
right?
Fucking seems a little too high. Like people are just getting killed in drill floors and shit. And, like no one's seeing this. Like it's a little wild. So all right, so I'm going to give a brief story of how we met and how you impacted my life. So I talked about last week the calendar date and when me being all fucked up and not knowing the whole year. We got it down 2013. I went to a wood line by my parents' house to get a fucking harm myself. But I was shit-faced drunk. And I was like, yo, there's a bar right next to my house. I was like, I'm going to walk over to this bar and fucking run up a tab and fuck this place. Like, so I walk over to this bar. I see a fucking friend of mine, Chris, and he's chilling with this beautiful stud. And calls me over, says, oh, you guys just got out, blah, blah. We start talking, but I'm belligerently drunk. I'm fucking up everything I'm saying to him.
Yeah, you could barely walk, man.
Yeah, I could barely walk. So then, like, we part ways, and I go home, and I'm like, yo, I'm back in the wood line. I'm like, I can't do that because this dude's going to think I'm fucking full of shit. So we did make deals with meeting back up the next night. So I go there. Next night, same thing in my mind. Next thing I know, all his friends leave us, all our friends leave us, and it's just us two. We start chilling the whole night. We talk. This dude saves my life, gives me purpose. He's one of my best friends, dude. And like that, honestly, like people that met us, like thought we'd known each other for fucking years prior to all this. Like, I remember people like, oh, you guys been friends for fucking like what, 12 years? And it was like 2013. Like, no, we just met like fucking months ago. Bro. Like, we just clicked, dude. Like.
Yeah, we just click, man. Some people are just like that, man. Sometimes people just have that connection, man. That's something I definitely felt with you.
Yeah.
But come to think of it, I was just thinking, we actually did meet in 2012.
Oh yes, Bob.
Actually, at Bob.
Yeah, when I told you I had an Audi S4 because you're the fire ass Audi. Yo, yeah, we did meet in 2012.
So technically, you're right.
Drunk. Man. I was pissed drunk then too. So, yeah, you're right. 2012. Yeah, but yeah, we became friends, and like, of course, you were surrounded by a lot of veteran friends, and see, this is the thing is like I know it must be hard because you saw a lot of PTSD and stuff in front of you with your friends that were going through a lot. And I know we've talked, and you have your own stuff, but like, was that hard to see that because you were always the rock and the anchor for everyone else around you that was going through stuff? Was that hard to be like, oh, I am going through my shit too, but I have to like fucking be strong for these guys? Like,
it was pretty hard, but everything I did came from the heart, so it wasn't too hard for me to deal with it. It's something I want to do. I would much rather set aside anything I'm doing to help out a friend, and I'm just glad that I could be there, you know, for my friends. And I mean, at a time where they really needed me. The fact that I met you when I did was it's amazing to me, man.
Yeah.
And it's just I just like it's not a chore for me, man. It wasn't hard. It's just something I think I have a tendency to like help people. I think you know what I'm saying. Like
That's 100%.
I don't know. It was just it's not like I said. It just wasn't hard for me. I'm glad I could be there for my friends.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, like, dude, like you were a true one. Like you were a rock, dude. You always will be. And like, look, me and you almost got fucking shot up in Albany, like with a bunch of friends, a couple of military guys.
That's not even a joke. Like
straight up,
like,
almost
guns
shot.
are drawn.
Guns are drawn. To me and him, our buddies fucking scurried off. And it was me and him, and we just turned around, like, just shoot us already. Like, we're already at this point.
Yeah, we saw
like,
Dr. Waka Flocka that night.
Yeah, we saw Dr. Waka Flocka. Like, we already were lit. Like, it was just shoot us. We came to this point, like, we walked down this wrong road because no one listened to me and Tyler. We're like, this is definitely not the neighborhood we parked in Albany, New York. Everyone's like, yeah, it's right down here. It's right down here. It's actually like fucking 4 blocks down and to the left. Yeah. And we walk on this thing. It was definitely a setup. They were waiting there all night for like drunk dudes to walk down the road. Happens, dude pulls out a gun. Every one of our friends leave. Me and Tyler just casually walking. We turn around and we're like, just shoot us then. Like, if this is gonna escalate.
It's like, shoot me or just stop following us.
Yeah, like, shoot us and stop following us because we're done with this. But yeah, that was our time. I was fucking getting shot at Albany, New York. But other than that, dude, like we've had blasts, dude. Like we've had great times. Even that night was fucking dope. And the thing is, like, I feel like I've always had this connection with you that, like, you always motivate me, like, no matter what. Like, I'll be down in the fucking gutter, fucking, I'm mostly fucked, and, like, I'll just chill with you, and, like, everything you do, like, your aura, what you push in for your own life is something that, like, motivates me, man. Like, you're always on to like the next bigger thing and fucking being able to smash goals and knock this shit out of the way. Like I'd always be like, yo, fuck. He's younger than me, but like I fucking look up to this dude. Like I look up to your fucking passion. You have passion in everything you do, even if it's fucking just construction work. Like you love what you do, and like you said, like you loved helping your friends, and that means the world to me because you definitely fucking helped me. You know what I mean? Like, and to be able to have that power, definitely in these times of like the VA not helping as much, and being a vet and being able to be on the understanding ground, like, hey, I've been there, I've done that. You know what I mean? Because like the VA, like they just put you in front of a therapist that doesn't, you know, probably never.
Right. They don't invest in you. It's just they make their check marks, man. That's all they gotta do. Like, okay, I saw this kid. I don't think they really. I know that they're trying. They're trying.
Yes. I'll
give them that. They are trying, but they're not trying very hard.
Yeah.
You know, like you can go there. I mean, I had issues in my back for the longest time. I mean, I still do, and it's like it's progressively getting worse. But I gave up going to the VA, man, because I'm tired of having to have 1,000 appointments. I'm tired of spending a whole day there to achieve absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it just became like, I can't keep on taking off of work. I can't keep on taking all this time out of my day to go to the VA for what?
Did not get any help. Did not get.
For what? For them to change your socks, drink some water, and.
what the medics always said to us anyway.
Yeah.
But like, and that's the thing is, I think they are trying, and with how progressively and like how war is changing, I feel like they can't keep up with like how fast PTSD and how fast these thoughts are going through these soldiers' heads, and like.
And I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry if
I just feel like they're not adapting to the times so it's coming. Like
that's exactly.
Warfare is getting a lot worse. Warfare is getting a lot worse. Guys are seeing a lot of things. The gun weaponry is getting fucking better. Faster war alone is getting different. So I think they're still stuck on this. Oh, maybe even Vietnam era. Like this is what we're doing with Agent Orange, all this stuff, and then they're not adapting to what the next group of fucking soldiers and vets and Marines are coming in. You know?
Right, and not to mention, man, society is like so fast paced now. In the interconnectivity that everyone shares with each other is just it's causing problems that I don't think anyone really foresaw. I don't think people are supposed to be this connected with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone's getting these false impressions of everyone else's life, and everyone tries to flaunt it like these just imaginary life, and that's so bad for your like your soul.
Yeah,
Your
for
like
your
your
own health.
psyche.
For your own health.
Like you're putting out, then you just become miserable in your own body because you're trying to put on this front that you're living this glamorous lifestyle, and that combined with getting out of the military and these guys having PTSD and then seeing these perfect lives that people are living on, these perfect, I put that in quotations,
Yeah.
these perfect lives that they're living, it wreaks havoc, dude, on a veteran with PTSD.
Because now they're thinking they have to play catch up to that standard.
Right, and there's so much on. I mean, this is speaking from experience. I'm sure it was the same with you, man. It was just like it got overwhelming. It gets overwhelming, and you got to be able to stay focused. And that's the biggest thing.
I feel like let alone just getting out of the military, like there's an overwhelming feeling, like like you don't have someone telling you what to do. Like I broke down days whenever I was on active duty orders. I broke down days that like my breakfast is the beginning of the day, MRE is fucking halfway done, and then dinner chow, like I'm almost done. They can only keep me up for so much longer. You know what I mean? Like that's how I broke my days down. Like by chow times, like all right, I'm almost done with this fucking day. Like, and then to get out and you're like, now I have to get up and like go buy my own breakfast and you know what I mean? Like and then, like go live a normal day. Like now I don't know. Like I'd have nothing in order of when my day's gonna end. You know what I mean? Like I had to go find things that fucking fill my time.
Right, well, you're coming from this like regimented life, man, with this solid schedule, which was a pretty decent schedule, honestly. Yeah. Like I enjoyed how my life was being ran in the military, and that's what you got. It was being ran a certain way. Yeah. But when you get out, like it flips your life upside down. Like there's a potential that you can completely fuck it all up, man, and be living on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And like that is a scary thought.
Dude, like, and that's what happened to me. It was idle hands, man. Like I was like, oh, now I'm up, fucking ass crack of day. Like, what should I do? I'll hit up buddies and start fucking drinking. Like, oh, let me catch up on fucking lost times. And like, I'd be fucking down in fucking bottles, going out buying Jameson. You know what I mean? Let's go to the bar at fucking 12 and fucking start pushing shots back. And like, then I realized that like later on in life, because I fucking rode that wave for a while, that it was not a productive way of living, like at all. And that like
it's very toxic.
Yeah, I would have higher ups like reach out to me like and be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like I'm seeing these videos of you fucking being fucking fucked up, fucking drunk out of your mind. And I was like, yo, shit, like they're right, dude. Like that's not who I was like fucking 2012 and before that. Like I was kinda squared the fuck away. Even though I was still drinking in the military. But then like I sat back and I was like, dude, like I need to reach out to people, I need to fucking talk to people, I need help. So then that's when I took my trip to Tennessee. Like, and you backed me on that too. Like, you're like, it's kind of fucking random, but like, if you need it, bro. Like, always called me when I was down there. Always stayed in contact with me. Like, one of the friends that like reached out to me, and that was a big change for me. Like, but like, it helped. It really did help me.
No, you needed to get out of New York, man.
Yeah,
I was telling you that shit for a long time, man. You need to separate yourself from the situation, and I'm glad you did, man. And anyone that cared about you
would want that for me.
Seen that, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not gonna hold you back from doing what you need to do to better yourself, man. I'll back you up 100%.
And I feel like that's another fucking huge thing that happens in society is like when someone wants to better themselves, like you have those toxic relationships. They're like, oh, dude, you don't need to fucking do that. You don't need to go fucking. What the fuck is mental health? Like you just need to drink another beer. Like you're just in your feelings. I feel like there's too many of those people that are selfish, toxic relationships that are selfish, that don't want to see you succeed because they feel like they're not succeeding.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. They'd rather you stay home and fucking get drunk with them. Yeah. And you know, and that's what it is, man. I mean, that's why it's so important to be able to stay focused when you get out of the military, man, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose sight. It is. It's very easy. And I know a lot of people that have lost that sight, and they kind of just go with what hand they were dealt, you know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to
better themselves,
right.
Like
right, exactly.
We've had a couple of friends together that like live in that dark cloud Eeyore stage that like there's woe is me, like pity party. Like we've had to be like, yo, dude, like life's not that fucking bad. You're just letting it be bad. Like you're just stuck in this rut, and you're letting that define you instead of blasting through the fucking rut and fucking figuring shit out. Like, and that's what I needed. Like, I needed to go to Tennessee. Like, first off, I didn't know anyone there besides the people I was staying with, and I now have family down there. Like, I'm going down there at Thanksgiving to spend time with them, and like fucking these dudes and these gals like became my fucking family. And like, I would have never met them if I didn't get out of my comfort zone. Like, I feel like that. Like, there's like a quote that talks about like you'll never succeed at anything if you just stay in your comfort zone. And like, I was always good at meeting people, but like to go to a different state, like I tell you, like fucking 3 days in, I was like, Carl met me down there, and it surprised me, and I was like, yo, I'm totally gonna jump back in this dude's car on the way back up to New York. Like I was like, yo, I'm not gonna fucking like it here. And then I fucking fell in love, dude. Like I fell in love. With the state itself, with the people there, and then I found like I found people that fucking gave a fuck about me. You know what I mean? Like that, like not that I didn't have it here, but like that gave a fuck about me for just me being me, like not me being some fucking junk schmuck, fucking making them laugh and fucking being like the party scene guy. You know what I mean? Like I found people who were like, yo, this dude's fucking cool for who he is. Like how we met, like you fucking how our friendship was. So like it was cool. Like I met amazing people. Yeah, that support vets. That's why, like, when I go down there for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna do like a fucking Majestic AF like roadcast and be filming with these veterans to help me out on my way and my journey down there. And it's just good to know that there's people out there that can motivate you. Like, because I've been in such bad times, bad reps that like I thought it was all gonna be fucking over with. And, like, fuck this shit. And
no, persevered, man, and that speaks a lot to your character.
Yeah.
You know, you can't give up, man, and like you didn't let your depression, your PTSD issues, and your anxiety and all your issues, like you said, it didn't define who you were as a person.
Because
and is terrible. You cannot. That's a hole you'll never get out of if you start thinking like that.
Like I've come to realize that like pressure can make diamonds and pressure can burst pipes. It's all your perspective. Like, it's how you look at things, dude. Like, I could either been a burst pipe or a diamond. So like now I'm like just diving in the rough, trying to fucking show people that like there is purpose after all this. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like it sucks. Some days are worse than the other. Some weeks are worse than the other. Some months are worse than the other. But there's always gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you were my fucking light, and fucking homegirl was my other light, and like now I'm like here, fucking happy as shit. Like I've never been happier in my life than I am like recently doing this podcast, spreading love and awareness to veterans like us, dude. Like, because I think sometimes we get overlooked. Like, you got those people that are like, oh, they signed up for that job, and then you got these people that are like literally truly care, but they don't know enough to care about. You know what I mean? Like they don't know enough to help. They're just like, oh, let me go donate to Wounded Warrior Foundation, or let me go do this, and they're there to help, but like they don't know how to help. You know what I mean?
They can only help so much without having been there, you know, and experiencing it firsthand. And
because you never know. Like I feel like talking to some people, like you never know like what's gonna trigger that veteran. Like if you don't know what he's been through, like you could be like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, and then that could trigger a story or something someone said to him. So, like, I just think, like, as a community of veterans, that we have to focus more on helping each other, like reaching out to each other.
Yeah, the whole victimhood thing in the veteran community is poison, bro.
Yep.
Like that, it's almost annoying. Like the whole, like for instance, like the whole fireworks thing is just crazy to me,
dude,
man. Like I think you're just looking for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop pulling that card out, man. It makes you look weak.
Wasn't it?
It's who you're trained to be, you know.
Ricky that one day said like, "Oh, that shit excites me." Like the fireworks.
Right, exactly.
That's a badass Marine, bro. That's a bad motherfucker. And he's like, "That shit excites me." Like, if I had to shoot those
exactly. Own that shit. Don't let it define you who you are as a person.
No,
own it.
No.
Own it.
You have to. You have to. Like, you have to own that fucking shit, dude. Like, you're right. There is a huge victimhood in the fucking in the veteran community, and we need to step out of that because we're not victims. I think it was General Mattis said, "We're not a broken community. We just may be bent a little bit, but like, we're still the strongest community."
Right, exactly. But then, I mean, like I said before, man, when you tie in society and it seems like not only in the military but society in general, like glamorizes victimhood,
Yeah.
and people want to be victims, and it's infecting everything, and it just sucks.
Like, dude, like I can't like I'm reading articles about the basic training now. Like they don't carry rucks, they carry back the fucking assault packs, and I'm like, dude, like
Why?
I feel like, dude, like first off, you went from being able to beat the shit out of your private, your Mother's America coming in, stopping that, to now like you can have your phone to call home to mommy every weekend, and you don't have to fucking earn your fucking stripe. Like, dude, like I rock my ass off, dude. They have the Honor Hill, and walking that motherfucker's like 13 miles, some ridiculous shit in the pouring rain, and like you don't have to do that. Like, dude, my feet were like broken, bro.
Yeah, you take like a whole slice of skin off the bottom of
Yeah,
your feet
dude.
after
Like
these ruck
I
marches,
was,
you know, and it's just
yeah,
like,
dude.
is that
Like
even
now you don't have to
happening?
do that. Like, cool. Here's your fucking lollipop and Band-Aid. Like, that's
Yeah, like
crazy
God
to
forbid
me,
you got
bro.
heat exhaustion on a hike.
Yeah.
You know what
They
I'm
just like
saying?
throw water on him, keep walking. Like, just leave him, throw him in the back of the LMTV. Like, dude, it drives you crazy. And I get it, dude. Like they think they're helping, like trying to stop the mental illness or whatever they think is happening. But that's gonna cause more because I feel like you're gonna come out with shittier soldiers, shittier Marines, and like they're gonna cause more harm than anything. Because now you're gonna have more dudes dying because there's sloppiness. But again, I guess there's the leadership after basic training that could install stuff. But I think you have to start from ground zero to make a good soldier, good Marine.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's just fucking robots soon. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that shit anymore.
Dude, hell yeah, like the fucking the video
Come on,
man of the
Elon.
Stop and Shop guy, the Stop and Shop robot down here. Like there's literally a fucking robot that cleans up spills and shit in Long Island. No bullshit.
What?
I'm not kidding you. Like man is sitting here laughing. Like I didn't believe it. Went to the store with her. She's like, "Oh, that's just a robot." What the fuck? And I go look at. And there's a robot, dude. There's a little robot with googly eyes that fucking moves around and cleans shit up. So like, hey, Stop and Shop is on top of something, dude. They're
Yeah, right.
making the next soldiers, bro. Fuck Tesla. They're gonna
Taking over the grocery game.
yeah, facts. They don't. Well, I look at that like that's a loss of a hired person, but like, cool. I guess help robots. Like,
But
man,
it's creating higher end jobs on another aspect. Who built that robot? Who programmed that
that's
robot?
true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's true. And I
It's you gotta look at it differently.
I like yeah. Mandy's also joking like every time it drives past us, like it's taking like pictures of our fucking IDs and shit, like it's spying on us. Besides that, you never know. But like, I think it's funny that like Stop and Shop's got these fucking robots. Anyway, so let me look at my notes quick. What do you? All right. So, what do you know? Do you think there's anything that the VA can do better, and in reaching out and helping coming home veterans and doing better altogether? Like, what do you think they need to focus on to help veterans with PTSD? So to stop the 22 statistic a day, to slow
I'd say
down that.
that I mean the communication is probably one of the biggest things. I think they really need to focus on coming up with a better system to communicate with the veteran community. It's not acceptable that there's veterans killing themselves outside of a VA clinic just to prove a point. I mean,
Yeah.
what happened? What went wrong there? I mean, I don't know if anyone really knows. It's a complicated question, and I think it's going to take a while to figure it out to bridge this disconnect that's happening between the VA and the veteran community. I don't have an answer as to what
Yeah.
can fix that. You know what I'm saying? It's
I think like look, you have all these foundations and all these charities that are out there to help veterans. I think maybe if the VA outsourced and used some of
right.
their
Absolutely, that could be
charities,
great.
and like instead of a veteran talking to a doctor or a therapist that's never been there, having one of these outsourced programs come in and like be there with the therapist, they can be able to like so it's common ground. Like so this dude's not just talking to a therapist, he's talking to another veteran. So like,
Right.
yeah, the therapist could be in the room and figuring out fucking what's going on, but then there still be an urgency to help that veteran because now you have another witness that sat there and watched what was going on, and be more of like the VA under a microscope. I feel like if we focused more on trying to help these guys, I feel like life would be like our country as a whole would be in a better place, because now you got these veterans that are gonna bust their ass for a job instead of fucking being stuck and thinking that the smartest thing to do is kill themselves. You give them purpose by getting the help they need, and now you have another whole bunch of dudes going in the workforce instead of sitting at home ready to kill themselves and not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And it breaks my heart when I read articles about that, like, because you don't know what happened. Like, what was the cause for this dude to go to that VA hospital parking lot? Or I've even read stories of dudes going right into the VA and doing it right in the waiting room. Like, and that truly breaks my heart. Like, it's like, so was he just not getting? Was he getting denied help altogether, or was there just something that he needed help with and they weren't fucking helping him? Like,
Right.
and
Right. Yeah. If a veteran like reached out and was, I'm not gonna say begging for help, but if they were in need of help and they reached out and nothing was done and that person ended up ending it, that's not acceptable, man. Like, I understand that I can't blame the VA for every veteran that commits suicide. You know what I'm saying? Because some don't say shit.
Yeah.
They'll just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a staff sergeant, man, really close to me. He actually got me promoted to sergeant, and he ended up killing himself, and no one expected it coming, man. He was the most motivated, most squared away Marine, man, and he was amazing. He was an amazing leader. And I don't know, to this day, I have no idea what happened with that man. But he ended it, man. He didn't tell anyone. So, I mean, I can't blame the VA for every single veteran that kills themselves. But the fact that
there's some reaching out
communication, you know what I'm saying, between the VA and that veteran that killed himself in the clinic. I mean, and that's not okay.
And it's not like I get it if like the vet is looking for I've heard them called as almost like rehabs for veterans at Ptsd. It's basically like an inpatient fucking, I don't want to call it a psych ward, but rehab to help veterans of PTSD. I'm pretty sure there's one out in California. But like, if they're requesting that, I get it that the VA can't find you a bed or can't find you, you know what I mean? They can't put you in there because there's lack of room or whatever. But they should be sitting you, be like, go to this group. We can get you this group every week. We can get you talking to other vets. Like, that should be an urgency. Like, they should.
Right.
You might not be able to help them right then. They shouldn't just send them home. They shouldn't be like, oh, well, yeah, see you next week. Like, they should fucking be like, yo, I got these groups you can go to. And they probably do, but like, I know when I went, like, when with my depression, they sat me in a room with a doctor and they did flashing lights in front of me. And I was like, I just really have depression. And then they tried to put me on every antidepressant in the world, every anxiety pill in the world. And like, I'm a huge person. It's like, I don't want to be a zombie. Like, I want to be able to wake up every day and like do things.
Yeah, I get that.
And like, they gave me sleeping pills, like the biggest bottle of prescription sleeping pills I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was fucking huge. And they were like, "Oh, just eat one of those." And then I was eating Seroquel and I wasn't going to bed. And like, I was like hallucinating and like doing weird shit, like falling asleep in random places by like toilet bowls and shit. Like being a fucking weirdo. Because now I'm drinking on it. You know, like now I'm drinking on it.
To just
that's what they want. They don't.
I think that's their easy way to just write it off. You know.
I helped him. He got prescription drugs. I helped him. He doesn't have to come back for a while. So like it was just weird. Like, it wasn't helping me go to bed and shit. And like, I was just like, okay. Now I'm just a fucking weirdo. Like, I'm drinking on Seroquel because I'm not going to bed, and now I'm fucking like doing fucking weird shit. Like,
and I have like no personality anymore.
Yeah. And I'm missing whole days. Like, I would wake up and be like, yo, I would go to sleep what I thought was Monday, wake up Tuesday, and I'd be like, oh shit, Tuesday, I got shit to do. And then really be Wednesday, and I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what just happened that whole day? Like, because I'd be blacked out, like fucking in a coma. And I feel like the VA's big thing is to just numb the pain, put a Band-Aid on it, put a Band-Aid on a sunken chest wound, it'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, absolutely.
big part of big pharma's fucking way to be like, oh yeah, we're helping. Let's put something on it. It'll be good. And really, there's just a big sunken chest wound where you're pouring out blood through a band-aid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think the system's just being inundated with all these veterans with PTSD issues and depression and anxiety, and I think that's just how their attempt to keep up with the demand, is just take these pills, go file a claim with the VA, get your.
You're gonna get denied anyway. You're gonna file that claim and you're gonna get denied anyway because, and it's crazy. Like I've talked to other veterans that filed claims before, and the whole like you have to hit these appointments on these days.
Yeah,
people
no
fucking
doubt.
work, and if you miss that day, like, oh, you only get one more strike, and then you're fucking donezo. Like, we're not giving you shit for that fucking thing. It's crazy to me. Like,
yeah, even with so I'm doing this folk rehab program right now because my GI Bill is gonna run out before I finish my degree, and so I'm doing this folk rehab thing, which is gonna continue it's for disabled veterans. If you're like rated 10% disability or more, you're allowed to get this. So if you run out of Chapter 33 or whatever your post 9/11 GI Bill is, you run out of benefits, look into folk rehab. But even that, man, I got an email. They sent me like 3 or 4 forms, dude, like multi-page forms that I have to fill out, and they expected me to fill it out in one day, all these forms. I have to have them done by tomorrow. Like, they just sent them to me last night. And it's just like, I have a job. Like, I go to school I can't, like, and if they said if I miss that, if I don't have these forms completed by then they're just throwing out my whole application for this program.
Really? That's fucking crazy,
like,
dude.
What?
But that's how they work. Like, they don't.
It's all check marks to them, bro.
Yeah,
it's all sent email. They didn't do what they had to do. Now we're done,
Like, I've had conversations that so others would be like, oh, why don't you go use your GI Bill? Why don't you go use this? And it's like, it's not that easy sometimes. Like, you have to get shit done. You have to reach the requirement. It's not like people think like they just hand you free college and they hand you all this shit like the military. And it's not. Like, you got to jump through hoops. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get this. Oh, what? You fucked out of school using your GI Bill? Like, so what? Like, it was free college. Like, no, like they take that money back. Like, if you're not holding up to like a D, I believe it's something like that. Like, if you're not passing, but like they find a way to take that money back. Like, they're not just giving you free fucking money and you just going to school not to go to school. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like it is all check marks, and like that's the thing that sucks. They need to do better on not making it all check marks on every aspect of the VA and any aspect of veterans benefits veterans get. Like it's hard to like I was down in Tennessee and I was having to get these appointments, and some of these appointments were like fucking Nashville, Murfreesboro, which is like 3 hours away from me. Like, and I'd call them like, yo, can you get somewhere closer? And they'd be like, nope, only place in Nashville.
Okay.
3 hours.
Yeah,
get up early.
It's just like when I was going to a chiropractor for a while. It's like they outsourced this doctor for me, and I was going to see him and everything. I was going to see him for like 3 months, and it was helping my back, man. I was really making progress with it. And then all of a sudden, they call me up one day, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're gonna have to drive down to the Bronx 2 times a week if you want to continue getting your therapy." And I was like, "I work."
Yeah, dude, like, and this thing is like, I was working.
The hell am I supposed to go to the Bronx 2 times a week to get for a half-hour chiropractor session?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I went, and then like, oh well, if you can't do that, then that sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was working nights and shit, and like so I'd get off at 8 o'clock in the morning and be like, "You have to get this appointment in Asheville." And I'm like, God, like I just stayed up all night working, and now you're putting me at rest to drive 3 hours from where I live to meet this appointment just so I don't get fucked out of anything. And I would do it, dude. I'd be like, yo, passing. I'd have to pull over and like time myself perfectly. I can rest my eyes for like 5 fucking minutes, and then I have to be back on the road. And then sometimes I'd walk in these appointments and they get there like 20 minutes after and be like, yo, bro, and they'd be like, oh, nope, you didn't make your time.
Yeah, that's
bullshit. You could wait. You could wait the whole day. You can wait the whole day, but that means you have to sit here. And if you call your name randomly through the day, then you can come in. So then I would sit there and like hoping that like these people would call me fast, and they wouldn't. Like I'd be there all day, like sitting there. Like my appointment was at 9. I made it at 9:20, and now I'm sitting there like waiting for hopefully to get called before they close. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just like, why are y'all so short-handed?
Yes,
like,
yeah. Was it?
Get another counselor in there, or like?
It was our one buddy that got lockjaw that one time, right? And he went to the VA and he had to sit there all day. Like they didn't believe him or some shit. Like I believe something
talking
like
about
that.
my buddy?
No, yeah, our buddy from Pine Plains.
Oh yeah, dude. I
Right.
don't even freaking remember
Dude,
honestly.
his son, like, he got lockjaw, and
That's-
he went to the VA, and like they fucking first took forever, and like they didn't believe him or some shit.
Dude, who was that?
It was right.
That's pretty hilarious.
It was from the tie rise. I'm pretty sure. Your roommate.
Everything.
Your
Jesus.
roommate. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't know. It was something funny like that. Like he went there and fucking something happened with his jaw. He went there and fucking like they basically first off didn't believe him. Second, like they were helping out like people that weren't there all day, and he's been sitting
That's
there.
hysterical.
And this person
that wasn't anything serious.
After this chat, like with this person, you're gonna die laughing because like you could picture how he would be fucking bugging out in that place. I'm pretty sure this is the story I remember. And like once I tell you,
I feel like that's something that would happen to Rick.
No, yeah, his best friend that lived with you. So Riley, I'm pretty sure, right?
It was Riley. Oh, maybe it was Riley.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was after the military, right? He happened to his jaw.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to go to the VA.
Yeah, dude. You just picture him bugging out in that place. Like, what the fuck?
His shit was like swollen up. He had like a cyst or something.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they weren't helping him or whatever. Like, I could just picture him just wilding out in that place. Like, because he's outspoken as fuck about it.
Oh yeah, Chris will let it.
He'll let you know. If he doesn't like you, or if you're fucking up, he'll let you fucking know, dude.
It was like probably like 3 a.m.
Yeah, dude.
He's just tired and pissed.
He's just sitting there bugging the fuck out with people. Like I can picture it, dude. But like that's the thing is like it's cool. It's awesome that like us vets can laugh about like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the VA is such a nightmare for us. But like in reality,
that keeps us sane sometimes.
They need to fix that shit in reality 100%. Like you guys got to do better. The VA, you guys got to help these guys. They sacrificed a lot for us and for you. So like you guys got to reach out and fucking actually do better at your job. If you work at a VA, do fucking better. Make your fucking colleagues do better if you're doing the best. Because like dude, like it sucks, man. Like we can laugh about it because it's literally a black hole to us. Like,
well, it had to become a joke after a while.
Yeah, after a while,
it became a joke because it is what it is. Like,
yeah, dealing with the VA. And honestly, you guys are probably like, if you've dealt with it or gone through it, I know there's probably mad veterans watching this right now. It's a fucking joke. It's awesome.
But my thing is like, there's a lot of good people at the VA, and I don't want to like talk.
No, yeah. There's a lot of good people trying to be good. I think it's
some that are miserable, man.
Yeah, I think it also goes higher than like the ground level people at the VA. I think it goes higher than that. Like I think it's like the administration levels and like not getting the right people in there. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I think it's just a demand of hiring people.
If you're miserable with your job, like don't take that out on your clients that are coming in there. These these old men, these World War II vets, these Vietnam vets, they're just like getting shit on by these receptionists. And it's just like, if you don't like your job, then quit.
Yeah.
If you're not making this man feel better or these veterans feel better about their visit, or if they're dreading coming in to talk to you because you're having a bad day every day because you have to show up to work and you hate your job and you hate your life, then get a new job. Don't take it out on everyone else.
That's 100% facts, dude. Like, listen, like I've always said this, no one's holding a gun to your head to do your fucking job. If you don't like your fucking job at fucking Walmart, quit Walmart, dude. Like, you're the only one standing in your way to be happy. So, like, so if you don't like your job, fucking leave it. Definitely if you're working with VA, any veteran, welcome them with a fucking smile. Give them a purpose. Make them feel like they're fucking loved and wanted. Like, it's just what you have to do. Like, it's what we all should do to help each other. Because you never know what people are going through. You should always be focused on smiling at someone, waving at someone, making someone's day better. Because you never know. It could just be a hi, a hello.
A smile can go a long way, man.
Yeah, like, it could change someone's life. And as me being who I am, I know that shit. Like, just keep smiling. And we got like 6 minutes left. So, real quick, dude, I just want to fucking thank you.
Man,
thank you so much for coming in clutch. Bro, you're the man, the myth, the legend, my best friend, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm going to have you and Glenn and Brian fight whenever I get married. We're best man. You
We
guys
can all be best
You guys,
men.
yeah, or you guys all be best friends. You guys can all duke it out. But I really appreciate you coming on and talking about stuff. I know we pulled this together this week. I know you've been busy, but thank you for always being such a good friend of mine. Thank you
Of course,
for
man.
always backing
Likewise.
me up. And so, listen, I know we're a little early on this cap out, but like I've been under the weather, so I'm gonna cap this out now. My name is Shawn-jose. This is Majestic AF, the podcast, the movement. Darkest nights bring the brightest stars. Tyler, I love you. I'll call you
Love you,
after
bro.
this. So here we are. Love you guys. Darkest nights bring the brightest stars. I'll leave you one of these. Merch will be dropping soon. Boom.